Attention passionate Chicago, BARS fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Chicago Bears' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Chicago Bears fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Chicago BARS fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been following the NFL news lately, you know that the landscape of the league is constantly shifting. And right now, there's a very intriguing story unfolding that could have major implications for the Chicago Bears and their quest to return to greatness. And no, I'm not just talking about the usual offseason chatter or draft rumors. This is something that could redefine the Bears' backfield, their offensive identity, and even their playoff chances in the very near future. And it all centers around a potential trade that has NFL insiders buzzing. Specifically, the idea that the Bears are exploring a deal to acquire Devon Achane from the Miami Dolphins. Yes, Achane, the emerging Pro Bowl talent from 2024, who has been lighting up defenses with his explosive speed and elusive running style, could soon be donning the Bears' colors. And let me tell you, this isn't just a minor addition, this could be a game-changer. Achane, who was picked in the third round of the 2023 draft, has been absolutely tearing it up in 2025. In just 6 games, he's amassed 98 carries for 542 yards and 7 touchdowns, averaging an incredible 5 yards per carry. That's elite production, folks. He's been a top running back by PFF grades this season, with a staggering 89.2 rating, which speaks volumes about his effectiveness and explosiveness on the field. What makes Achane so special? Well, his speed is on another level, running in outside zone schemes with a remarkable 6.4 yards per attempt. Plus, he's a nightmare for defenses with his ability to break tackles. He's broken 28 tackles this season alone, showcasing his toughness and contact balance. His career stats are impressive. Over 100 rushing yards and 22 touchdowns with an average PFF grade of 88. 1 and a +2. 6 EPA per rush, which is a clear indicator of his positive impact on the offense. And he's not just a one-season wonder. His previous stats show a consistent ability to gain yards and make plays, making him a true offensive weapon. Now, there's some context to this potential trade. The Dolphins, who are currently struggling with a 1-5 start, are in rebuild mode. They have a cap space of only around $1.5 million, which limits their flexibility, especially with a defense allowing nearly 30 points per game. Achane, valued at around $6 million cap hit, is a prime trade asset for them, especially as they look to prioritize extending Tyreek Hill, their star receiver. Miami is reportedly moving Achane, along with Travis Homer, who grades out at around 68.7 by PFF with 3.7 yards per carry in 2025, and a future draft pick, in exchange for the Bears' third-round pick in 2026 and the running back, aiming to bolster their offensive line and add depth for their rebuild. And why would the Bears want Achane? Well, first off, Chicago's running game has been surprisingly effective this season, averaging 105 yards per game, but with Swift carrying the load heavily, 112 carries in just 4 games, there's a real risk of fatigue and injury. Adding Achane would inject a new level of explosiveness and speed into the backfield, turning it into a true 1-2 punch that defenses simply can't keep up with. Imagine Swift's power and vision combined with Achane's breakaway speed. Defenses would be constantly on their heels, and the Bears' offense would become much more dynamic and unpredictable. The numbers support this strategy. Achane's addition could boost the Bears' rushing production from around 105 yards per game to over 155 yards, a nearly 50-yard increase. Huge in today's NFL, where the run game sets up play action and opens up the field for the passing attack. With Justin Fields and Caleb Williams, the Bears are already building an exciting offensive core, and Achane's speed would complement Fields' ability to extend plays and make big throws. Plus, his presence would allow Roscoe Johnson to focus more on pass protection, reducing sacks and giving the Bears more offensive balance. Now, looking at the bigger picture, this trade could be a catalyst for the Bears' playoff push. Achane's postseason stats, with an average of 6 yards per carry show he's a clutch performer when it counts. The impact on the odds is already evident. Sportsbooks like BetMGM have moved the Super Bowl odds for the Bears from +12.0 to +5.500, reflecting increased confidence in their postseason potential. This is a team that, with the addition of a player like a chain, could realistically aim for a 10-7 record, sneaking into the playoffs and making some noise in January. The AFC and NFC are tough, no doubt, but this kind of move signals that the Bears are serious about contending soon, not just rebuilding. It's reminiscent of how other teams have successfully added speed and explosiveness midseason to turn their fortunes around, like the Vikings with Aaron Jones in 2025, who added 250 rushing yards in a season. The NFL trade deadline this year, set for November 4th, is shaping up to be a pivotal moment. Will the Bears pull the trigger? Will they make this bold move to accelerate their rebuild and push for a playoff run? All signs point to yes, especially considering the strategic fit. A chain's ability to generate chunk plays and his potential to add over 200 rushing yards this season makes him a perfect complement to the current roster. It's about creating a balanced, explosive offense that can adapt to any situation. And with the Bears already 2-2 in the NFC North, a division that's become more competitive this year with teams like the Lions and Packers improving, every game matters more than ever. This trade could be the spark that propels them ahead of their divisional rivals, setting the stage for a serious playoff push. But it's not just about the numbers and the strategy. It's also about the narrative. The Bears have been building a young, exciting team around Justin Fields, and this move would send a clear message. They're all in on winning now. A chain's addition would energize the fan base, bring a new buzz to Soldier Field, and give the team a fresh spark of confidence. Fans have been waiting for a breakout season, and this could be the moment when everything clicks. Plus, it's a move that aligns perfectly with the team's long-term vision, adding talent that can grow with Justin Fields and help them contend not just this year, but for seasons to come. And of course, we have to consider the implications for the Dolphins. Moving a chain, especially with the struggles they're facing this year, makes sense from their perspective. They're prioritizing picks and cap space to rebuild their offensive line and focus on extending key players like Hill. Homer, who is more of a rotational back, and a future pick give them assets that can help in their rebuild. It's a classic case of two teams with different goals, one looking to contend now, the other focusing on future assets, coming together in a deal that benefits both sides. So to sum it all up, what we're witnessing here is a potential seismic shift in the NFL landscape. The Bears, with their eye on the playoffs and beyond, are targeting a chain to inject some much-needed explosiveness into their offense. Miami, meanwhile, is making a calculated move to shed cap and acquire draft capital to rebuild. And if this trade happens, it could set off a chain reaction, lifting the Bears' Super Bowl odds, energizing their fanbase, and perhaps even turning them into serious contenders down the stretch. It's the kind of bold, strategic move that could define their season and their future, and we'll be watching closely as the deadline approaches. Now, folks, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential deal? Do you believe a chain can be the spark the Bears need to finally make a real playoff push? Or do you think Miami is better off holding on to him and trying to turn this season around? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion really matters to us and to the Chicago Bears. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, rumors, and analysis, so stay tuned for all the latest Chicago Bears news. This is the kind of story that could reshape the NFC North and maybe even the entire NFC, so keep your eyes peeled. Thanks for sticking with me, and as always, bear down.